Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. We have unknown number of subs still in Warcraft. Hearthstone has a repeat of a Tavern Brawl, which is, okay. New heroes, new sales, all kinds of fun stuff. But speaking of fun, Deadpool is freaking awesome. Today is Friday, February 12th, 2016, and this is Epic Fail episode 47.
You are now listening to the Epic Fail podcast.
Hello! I am Draven Dresden, and we have a bouncing chat room tonight. We'll get there. Anyway, as I was mentioning, get that set up, because I'm just all kinds of fail tonight. What do you expect? Like I said, I am Draven Dresden. With me as always on this fail train that I'm dragging along, kicking and screaming, sometimes cursing at me along the way. All the way from the chocolate factory, we have... Crap, what's her name? Veronica? Veruca. We've got Veruca Salt, otherwise known as Scarlet. How you doing tonight?
I am not a blueberry, okay? Just not a blueberry. Anyways, camera issues aside, I'm good. I've been playing a lot of Diablo this week. And a lot of raiding. I got to raid with Theory's group, and I got my trinket. And
Ancient Xel'Naga prophecies.
Lots of Diablo. Did I mention that? Why are you yelling?
That was because I forgot to do the pre-show turn-off. And I got Ancient Xel'Naga prophecies.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of Diablo. I've had something came in the mail. I don't know if I should show that now or later.
Sure.
And so, a long time ago, not that long ago, I won a contest on Twitter for a giveaway from this girl's store. Her name is Straya Obscura on Twitter. And she draws pictures, and then she makes 3D printouts of them. So I won Alex Draza. Has a stand to go in, but I just haven't set it up yet. And it took a while for me to get it in the mail because UPS kept trying to deliver it when I was at work. And I also had to pay some taxes on it, so they wouldn't leave it. Anyways, so yes, my beautiful, beautiful Alex Draza. It's going to go up there behind my head, I think, as long as the kitten leaves it alone once I get it situated. So I'm happy about that.
Yay.
Yay.
And then, coming from, slightly further south, we've got Mike TV, also known as Theory. How you doing? What are you up to this week?
Oh man, I'm doing well. It was actually like cold here for the past couple of days down here in Florida.
Oh gee, Florida cold.
Yeah, like we got down in the 40s. It was crazy. I know the rest of the country hates us, but I actually almost had to wear a jacket the other day. It was rough. But yeah, I mean, game wise, Scarlett came with us. And got her trinket off of the Bird Boss, which was cool. What night was that? Was that Monday, I think?
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. We are now 2 kills into Heroic Archie on the main group, which is nice, and the kill came a lot easier this time than last time, so I don't know if I would say we're on farm, but we're almost there. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, played a little bit of Diablo, trying to get back into it a little bit. Not really there. I tried the Hearthstone Tavern Brawl this week. Brawl, whatever. And it sucked as bad as me saying the name of it just then because I didn't like it at all. And I'm probably not going to play it again until the next one. And let's see what else. Oh, Vex, my raid team from another server, actually has gone on break, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, they are taking a break from raiding Intel Legion, which these guys have been clearing heroic for a while, and most of them were pretty much maxed out on gear and maxed out on rings and everything at this point. So they were getting a little bit burnt out. They were talking about doing an alt reprogression, but at this point, they're just doing like achievement runs and old raids now. So that character's kind of on pause, unfortunately. But that's pretty much it for me as far as new stuff for the week.
Alrighty. As for me, well, honestly, the highlight of this week is this. It's not Blizzard related at all. Except that I know a lot of them were looking forward to it. It's a little tiny thing. I went to the very first showing, and the best thing about the movie, I'm not going to spoil anything on the movie, so don't think I will. Lights come down, 3/4 of the people start cheering and all that. This is for the previews. Whatever previews. There was a new Batman vs. Superman, which actually they should have done from the beginning, that preview, and just left it at that. That was actually a really good preview. Not related. And then the lights go all the way down for, this is the main movie. I think there was 10 out of the 500 people in the theater that didn't yeah, and cheering. In my head, I'm like, yeah, and cheering, but outside I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, don't suck. And the opening credits set the mood for the entire movie, and it is just awesome all the way through. There's a couple
spoilers.
There's a couple overly cheesy moments, but it's Deadpool. You have to expect that. The only thing it's not even a spoiler. Stay to the end, all the way. That's it. But yeah, that's been my week. Looking forward to that. Rating, all that fun stuff. I'm on you guys' team, so we've covered that.
You're on my team. What?
I know. It's weird. I actually, just before a show, I got pulled into a Horde raid on my Paladin. I didn't get any tier.
Were you with,
Lagging Balls.
Yeah.
Nope.
No? Not them?
No, this is a streamer that I know. Kind of know. So he's like, yeah, bring whatever you want. I was like, well, bring my Warlock and suck, or bring my Paladin who has little to no gear, but I'll probably do more DPS with. Like, Paladin.
Did you get gear upgrades?
I got a pair of shoulders with a socket, because they're not tier, so I was like, anything's an upgrade, so if anyone doesn't want it in its plate, sure.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yes, that was our week. So yeah.
So before we move on, I wanna point something out, which I think is kind of funny because I know we're getting ready to go into another subject. But when you held up your little Deadpool, can you hold that up again? Your little Deadpool guy. So this week, look at the size of that little Deadpool guy. This week happened to be Fat Tuesday. So if you guys are familiar with Fat Tuesday at all, in New Orleans there's something called King Cake, which has a little baby Jesus about the size of your little baby Deadpool. And inside the cake, they put the baby Jesus in there, and then you cut it up into slices. And if you happen to get that slice with the baby Jesus, that means that you're supposed to buy the next cake. It's like a tradition thing. So like when you're holding that up, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, we should make a Deadpool cake. And have it be red with like blood-looking sugar frosting on it would be amazing. And if you get the Deadpool, you got to buy the new one.
I agree with that statement.
That would be interesting.
Yes,
We should do that.
it should happen.
Something should happen. Yeah, I almost watched. Like, I went to the 7 o'clock show yesterday. I almost went to the showing right after it and watch it again. I didn't even have that reaction on Star Wars.
I think I'm supposed to go see it on March 11 with my friends, so
Yeah.
I won't be seeing it for a while. But I will be seeing it with friends.
Yeah. I will definitely be going to see it in theaters again. That's for sure.
I have to say I wasn't really overly excited about it because I'm not that familiar with Deadpool, but every single commercial, every single PSA on Facebook has made it look like it's probably pretty damn funny. And every single person I've talked to who saw it said they loved it.
If you find the PSAs funny and you find the trailers hysterical, the movie is that times 10 all the way through it. I mean,
Yes,
like I said, the opening credits, I want to talk about it, but at the same time, it'll ruin it if I do. But they literally set the movie up perfect to the point where you know this is going to be a fun ride. So now that we've got our stuff out of the way, stuff happened with Blizzard this week. We should probably talk about that. So, let's hit up a little bit of the Blizzard news.
This is the Blizzard news you can use.
I can see that. You know what? Since you brought it up in chat, I had a nice thought, and it just kind of went away.
He's like, oh crap, I had a nice thought. Oh.
I was gonna, make fun of Theory and make a comment, and then all of a sudden my thought just went bye-bye.
I guess that's karma.
Wow, someone just got...
So on to Blizzard news.
Yes, on to Blizzard news, since that's what we're supposed to be talking about anyway. You know what's going to happen? I'll remember this comment later. I'll make the comment out of the blue for no reason.
Okay.
Why? Scarlet does it every week. Why not?
You know what? Mine has a purpose.
Sometimes you don't even know what that purpose is, but sure.
Tradition.
Yeah.
It always has a purpose.
Anyway, first up, we didn't really hit it on in the intro. Overwatch is back. Yay!
I'm upset with Overwatch.
Because you're not in.
Because it downloaded 10 gigabytes of thing and then it said, oh, sorry, you can't play this. After I got all excited and I was like, yay, game!
That's kind of funny because I think I may have told you guys about this, but when I pre-ordered it, back during BlizzCon, like as soon as they announced it, I pre-ordered both of them as soon as it was available, literally that night. And when I did that, I was playing on a Mac, and they said, well, we're not going to have Overwatch on a Mac. I was like, crap. So I had to get my old, PC and get it going again, which now it's running really well. I put a bunch of money into it, and it's good. But the issue is that on the Mac, in the client, it actually has the ability to download it if there was a Mac client. Like, it gives me the little install button, and I can click on it, and it shows that I pre-purchased it. But on the Windows client, it's still asking me to pre-purchase it. So it won't let me pre-download it. Won't let me do anything.
Well, that's
so I don't get it.
Are you sure your account is proper?
Yeah. I only have one.
If it makes you feel any better, as soon as I get my video card, I will probably play enough of it for both of us.
How
Yeah,
is
I'm
that
just gonna
supposed to
hack
make
your
you feel
account and
better?
sign in down here because my video card can run it no problem.
Mine should have been able to, but I got the wrong one.
And I'll get us both banned, and we'll both have to start over. The
Yeah,
ultimate
do
epic
it.
fail.
Do it.
Let's not do that. And let's see, Overwatch. Bright Paw was the WoW pet for charity. How much was it per pet again? Like 15, 25, something like that?
No, 10.
I want to say it was $10.
Was just a normal 10? Okay.
Yep.
$1.7 million to Make-A-Wish.
Which
It's a lot of
means
Bright Paws.
170,000 Bright Paws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, math.
During that time.
Yeah, for
I mean,
that
that's
1
not
month.
even- yeah, because they only did the charity for the 1 month, really.
Yeah.
So 170,000 of one pet in 1 month is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my $10 is in there. Yay!
Mine
I
also.
think I bought
You bought a
2
few
or
there.
3 of them.
Yeah, you got a couple because you gave one away.
Yeah, I gave one away on the show. I bought one for myself, and I'm thinking I think I bought one for my wife.
Aw.
So there you go, 3.
Wait, she
Mm.
plays WoW?
She does.
I did not know that.
Yeah, on and off. She recently came back after taking a pretty long hiatus and leveled her main up to 100 and is now leveling a hunter from scratch just because she enjoys the leveling process.
Yay, Yuri's wife.
She doesn't raid. She used to raid just because I kind of forced her to raid because every time we needed a healer, I would tell her we need a healer.
So
she's-
you're saying that women should raid and heal.
Well, she's a boomkin, but what would happen is I'd set up an off spec for her so that when we had no healer, she could kind of be a stand-in, or say we needed a third and we had 2, she could be the other half of one to get us through. She didn't enjoy it. She hated it. And the funny part is I usually raid fairly late at night. So she'd usually fall asleep and end up running into the wall. Like some point through the raid, which was always, it was a blast. And at the time we were raiding with like family and friends. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. It was kind of just a running joke. So she's not going to hear this because I think she's already asleep. But but yeah, I mean, she doesn't raid anymore, and I'm not going to force her to raid because I want her to enjoy the game.
Twitter at Theory's wife.
You
That'll
scared
be interesting.
her off from playing the game, didn't you?
No, she just got tired of it. She plays a lot of other games and things like that she likes to do. There's a bunch of different ones that she likes. It's just I think that just like a lot of other people, she gets tired of it. There's certain aspects that she really likes and other things that she really doesn't. And raiding is kind of one of the ones that she doesn't.
Yeah.
So once she's leveled a character up to whatever the level cap is, and she gets tired of alts, she usually decides she doesn't want to play for a few months, and then next thing you know, there's another expansion.
That's like the my friends who got me into the game. They're on and off like that. They hate raiding. Well, no, one of them likes raiding but can't raid because of his schedule. But the other one, he really hates raiding. He even hates if we do like old raids that you can blast through. And we're like, hey, come along for the fun. He's like, do I have to? I hate raids. I hate it. Don't make me do it. So he is a serial leveler. He just levels a character, buys all the gear off the auction house, and then levels another character, buys all the gear off the auction house, then levels another character. It's kind of funny, really. He's got like a ton of alts that are fairly decently-ish geared for never having raided or dungeoned, because he doesn't do dungeons either. He doesn't do 5-mans. He just hates grouping with other strangers and doing that. So, but yeah. So I understand where she's coming from.
Well, honestly, I think there's probably a fairly large group of people. I mean, if you look at the sub-declines and things like that, that do that just kind of level through the new content and then get bored and decide that they're not going to pay for it until the next expansion comes out because the part that they enjoy for the game is pretty much done. I don't think that's the entire decline in subs that WoW has seen. Definitely not. But I think that if you look at the way it kind of ebbs and flows, it kind of makes sense that at least a decent percentage of those people are levelers. And once they're done leveling, they're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kitty.
They're fighting.
I find it funny that when I bring up this picture, I hear meow.
That was good.
Yeah. And the earnings call. We have no idea on the numbers for Warcraft, which we knew that was going to happen. Hearthstone, more than 40 million registered players before League of Explorers launched. Excuse me. Yeah, there's just tons of... I mean, there's not a lot of info, but...
Well, there's something kind of big that is getting glossed over a little bit in that first section.
Expected launch in the summer window.
Yeah, the summer window following the release of Legendary Pictures. So that pretty much nails that one in the coffin. It's not coming out before the movie.
Yep.
I mean, their expected before date was after the movie anyway, but a lot of people were holding out hope that it would come around the movie time or before the movie time, and that pretty much says nope.
I just completely glanced right past that.
If you think about it, though, there was a point to me starting that sentence.
That the free stuff, I imagine?
No. Oh, right. We're almost in March already.
No, almost.
We're like 2 weeks away from
midway
March.
through February, yeah. Mm.
So we're basically, well, the movie's coming out February 16. Today's the 12/13. So we're only 4 months away from the movie.
Right.
So it's not that long until the expansion.
It's not.
There's gonna be the pre-patch. So if they have the pre-patch like a couple weeks after the movie, that'll give us like a month or so, and then the new expansion comes out.
Well,
July, August.
Yes, but the pre-patch, the content that they usually give us lasts about 3 days. It might not be 3 consecutive days, but it's usually about 3 days.
Yeah, but I mean, this time they're overhauling, like, from Draenor to, from Panda to Draenor, they didn't really change the talents and specs very much, but they are doing that this time. So I remember when Panda's launched, or the pre-expansion, where you had to get used to the new talents and whatnot, that took a while to get adjusted to. So this will give us that chance too.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about the adjustment period of the new stuff. I'm talking about the actual here's stuff to do. Not hey, get used to how we're doing it now.
The funny part is that in Panda launch, pre-Panda launch, there was no event. If you remember, there was a couple of PvP things that just kind of came out of nowhere. We kind of made our own event. There was crazy PvP going on in Firelands and a couple of other areas where all of a sudden they were cross-factioned and live for PvP, and it was just nuts. I don't know if you guys partook in that, but I did. It was great. But there wasn't really an event.
Mm-hmm.
It was just this weird, all of a sudden, PvP craziness because of cross zones that they added in, which it was awesome because there hadn't been that kind of world PvP in forever, but it was unintentional, which was crazy. But they've made a pretty big deal about this one actually having content to set up what's going to happen in the next expansion. And the one for Warlords had a little bit of content. Like you said, it was probably only 3 days if you blasted through everything. Hopefully it'll be more than that this time. But I have a feeling the pre-patch will tie in with the movie, meaning if they'd end up giving away any kind of game time, whatever, with movie tickets, like there's been all those rumors about online, It will be to draw people into the game, and it would make a whole lot of sense if at the same time that's when that pre-patch hit to get people excited about it again. Because every time they drop that pre-patch, a lot of people who have put off resubscribing or taking a break come back for that patch.
Yep.
So it would be a huge spike in numbers for them. So it would make a lot of sense if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. I just don't want to have to wait that long.
I'm with you. That's a long time to be rating the same content with not, much left.
I mean, at this point, for Scarlet in my group, if we don't have 20 people, we're done. We're going back to normal doing the achievements on one of the nights.
I don't mind doing that, but
I'm fine with that. I love that we're doing that. I'm just saying, progression-wise, we're done. We kill heroic Manny and Archie every week, and then after that, what boss do you guys need? And then we generally in one night will blow through the entire place.
The thing that I don't want to see happen is people getting discouraged because we finish progression. I think people still need to keep their... I don't know. In my case, I think it's good to still keep your morale up for the raid team. So, you're like, oh, well, I don't need anything, so I'm not going to come to raid tonight. I don't know. I can just see the raid team kind of going, kapoo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm on, I don't even want to think about how many raid teams. Every group is having pretty much at least one or two people that are kind of saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because every group seems to have a couple of different types of people. There's the people that are there for the other people. You know what I mean? They're there specifically just because of the group. And then there's the people who are there just for progression and for their own character. And once they're geared, they're done. Yeah. Or once they've reached their end point, their kill that they're looking for, they're done. So you usually have a few people that want to jump out. And I'm seeing the same thing, Draven, in like 3 different groups, including Vex. I mean, Vex kept going for a while when they really didn't need anything else. But they got to the point where they didn't want to really do it anymore. And I can definitely understand that. But I'm not one of those people. I'm more of a, if I get bored, I switch to a different tune kind of a player. But everybody's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep going as long as the raid team goes. I mean, there will be nights that will be like, if you don't need me, can I sit this week out? That kind of thing. But I'll come back, and I won't wait for the,
exactly,
the expansion. But yeah, I mean, every now and then I need a night off. Of course, if I do something like that, I usually have plans. Like, okay, I'm getting tired of this content. I need a break from it. Oh, look, there's a movie coming out. Oh, look, there's a concert. Perfect excuse. But
speaking of concerts, not to diverge the thing, I might miss a podcast night for a concert.
Who?
Filter.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's one of those groups where Draven's not going to say anything negative, but he might not go himself.
He is hot.
Now I'll say something negative.
I won't say anything negative. I'm not going to say anything positive either. I'm simply going to say you are entitled to your opinion. Apparently, almost everybody is hot.
There's nothing wrong with
but
being
he's
hot.
not blue either.
I know, it's weird. He's not in Lich King armor.
I don't understand.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway.
So mean.
Yeah. Not really seeing a whole lot of anything else worth mentioning on here after you mentioned that June release thing.
Yeah, most of the rest of it's pretty well-known, normal stuff. It does also confirm spring for Overwatch.
Well,
down at the bottom.
We knew that.
We already knew that, so that's not really new.
Yeah.
I need to pre-order. Tell my bank account to magically get the money to pre-order. Okay?
I'm still waiting on the collector's edition. I know I'm going to suck at the game. I don't care. I'm gonna get the big collector's edition. I'll get the free skins on everybody, and there'll be the one that I'll be like, can I delete this?
You talking Overwatch?
Yes.
So I got the Origins one.
Yeah.
Which is not the collector's. It's like the other one.
I'm getting the
middle
one with the
one.
statue.
But
So-
isn't the collector's is the physical copy, right? And there's no digital collectors?
There's no digital collectors, no.
That's what I thought.
It's physical only.
The digital collector's is the Origins.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's
the
what I
middle
thought.
one.
The only thing you don't get are the physical items, right? Of the
Correct.
digital items, you
You
get
don't
the
get a
same.
box, you don't
Yeah.
get the statue, but you get the same digital items.
Woohoo.
I've got to the point where I really don't care that much about the boxes anymore, but I'm that way with everything.
Yeah.
Every game, every, music now, videos. I just
Yeah.
want the digital.
I
version.
have. I'm not anywhere near there. I have to have the box. CDs,
The only thing
DVDs, that kind of thing. Well, Blu-ray now, but
The only thing I'm not there for is books. I refuse to use an e-reader.
I mean,
And
I'll get
I
audiobooks.
I don't want audiobooks, and I love the
Yeah.
paper books. I love them.
Yeah.
I would have, if I won the lottery, one room in my house, no. I refuse to use a reader on my phone. If I had won the lottery, I would have a room that's just like 4 walls of library. Be awesome.
Alrighty. So that's really about it for Blizzard News this week. So let's go game specific and do a fairly quick rundown because there's not a ton of stuff. I'm sure we'll get sidetracked somewhere though. Maybe hit a tree. You never know. So it's time for a little bit of World of Warcraft talk, I believe. Even though we've kind of been doing it a little bit. And the kitty has returned.
This is Stormy, my grumpy old man.
Alrighty, so first up for Warcraft stuff. The Legion race happened yesterday, day before, depending on your time zone as of record time. February 11th, 3 o'clock Pacific, and that means 6 o'clock Eastern. If you were anywhere else, well, do your own math. There was a bit of controversy around this. For you guys, if you saw the show notes, I worded it specifically.
Yep.
Apparently, they ran it on Tuesday, but didn't do the run, like put it on Twitch until Thursday, which means it was a pre-record.
Yes. Which in the beginning of it they did talk about.
Well, I completely understand the reason. Tuesday, Overwatch came back out. So it makes
Well, it
sense.
wasn't just that. It was their worry that the servers were so unstable it could affect the race, so they wanted to do it ahead of time in case they needed to fix anything.
Okay, but if it's not live, I'm not watching. I might look at the new raid area or the new dungeon, and that's about it.
I did watch it today after I got home from work. I was working, so I didn't get to see it live. I'm with you. It takes away a lot of the specter of watching a live race when it's not live. So that kind of eliminates part of the reasoning. But I still was interested in it. I don't know. I mean, did you care who was winning and who won? Or did you just want to see the dungeons?
I mean, I would have... I can't say I don't care, but as to which one wins, I didn't care. It's like, I mean, I was rooting for people on both sides, so it really didn't matter to me who actually won. But for me, the fact that it wasn't live opens up a big can of worms of, well, maybe there was cheating.
Well, even if there was no reward in this case, other than slight bragging rights, which aren't really, like, it's not even real bragging rights, really, based upon what it is. But I'm with you. It seems a little weird. If they're gonna do this, I think they should do it live. It almost to me makes it seem like they weren't really ready for it. There was some major issue they're expecting to happen that they wanted to be able to hit pause on if it did. But you know what? If that did happen, that just proves it's an alpha. I don't think people would have been pissed if they had hit a brick wall and had to take an hour break or something until they fix something. Yeah. I think people would have been okay with that.
I know. It's one of those things. If it's not live, yeah.
So, did you watch it though? Either one of you?
I haven't got the chance to. I went to go watch it live, and then I realized I was an hour late, so I caught the last Q&A kind of question from Watcher and Lore, and then they're like, "Okay, well that wraps it up," and I was like, "Oh, whoops." But I didn't know that there was a video on demand of it that you could go watch, so I will be watching that. Okay. But I still like watching the live raid on YouTube that they had at BlizzCon 2 years ago, and the live challenge mode dungeons. Even though I know the outcome of that, I still like watching those. So to me, pre-recorded, it's like, it's not live, but at the same time, it's still okay. I don't mind it.
I'm just weird.
So I'm going to ruin part of it for you guys then, because there was a couple things that were pretty impressive that I wanted to kind of bring up. One, the North American team, who we have spoken to several of the people in that group directly because they're CTR members. They tried a pretty bold strategy, which I thought was kind of funny. You kind of talked about cheating. You know, it wasn't really cheating, but it was their strat. They were using a rogue in order to pass by mobs in order to get further into the dungeon. And this is in the both dungeons, but specifically in the heroic one that they ran first. And it ended up biting them in the ass because as soon as somebody died, they'd have to either all die or go back to help get that person through to catch up to the rest of the group, unless it was the rogue. So it bit them in the foot right away. Like literally their first boss bowl, somebody died and then they had to go back and get them. So the North American team started out with a huge advantage, but because of the way that they got it, they ended up not being able to stay with the European team most of the time. And the other really big point I wanted to point out, because the first dungeon, even though it was the heroic one, has been on alpha for a little bit. So if you've paid attention to alpha, you've probably seen it. It's beautiful, but it wasn't really new. The second dungeon is cool. The last boss is impressive. That's a raid boss that they've put in a dungeon. And it was very impressive to me, the way that it works, how massive it was, how intense the fight seemed to be. I was very impressed with the second dungeon. Now, it was normal, so both groups pretty much face rolled it, and it was the first time they'd ever seen it, but just the actual way that it works was cool. So I was definitely impressed with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. It wasn't live whenever I could have watched it, and I was not at a computer. I probably would have watched it anyway had I, not been going to see Deadpool when it aired. But yeah. I see it's sure. We'll see. So yeah, that happened. We got some for Legion, some tier item bonuses. Havoc is the Demon Hunter DPS, right?
Havoc, yes.
Yeah. So they're just Their tier bonus right now is here's more Fury generation. And that's it. There's
Yep.
nothing cool about it whatsoever. I feel bad for Demon Hunters because they're getting the Paladin treatment.
But it may be that they need Fury regen.
Yeah.
Although it seems kind of funny that their resource is Fury, the same as Warriors.
Warriors are rage.
Oh, right.
I mean, I think it works pretty much the same, but yeah.
Well, all of the classes are going to this sort of like same mechanic-ish.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything overly stand out from this particular set, but they've all got their first draft basically coming out. Paladins, yeehaw. We're getting more damage basically for Rhett anyway. That's the one I care about. Do you see any standouts that are at least noticeable and not just ooh, this will be interesting?
The Death Knight one. Can you go back to that screen for a second?
Yep.
'Cause I didn't pull up that slide. We get a new skill called Marrow. Sorry, what's that called? Because I can't see it. Marrow Rend?
Yeah.
I think that is going to be interesting. Bloodstrike, I don't know. The Bloodstrike has a 25% chance to generate a rune. Depends on how rune dependent we're going to be with the new system that all the runes are the same.
I would imagine very, but
I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, you get easier, like you can spend them easier, right? You don't have to watch them as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
knows?
I think the Death Knight, and I think as much as I say I'm going to be switching to a Demon Hunter, I'm probably going to still have a Death Knight as my main, first of all. But
No,
I don't know.
the thing I'm thinking on most of these is until we've had a chance to actually play the character, it's kind of hard to really judge it.
yeah.
I would agree with you that the Demon Hunter one sounds kind of boring.
Yeah.
But it could be that it needs that. You know what I mean? Like that's really what helps increase the output of Demon Hunters is having that extra fury.
Mm-hmm.
The Paladin ones for like prot to me, it's just an additional 10%. It also seems kind of boring. Anytime it's a flat percentage based increase of either damage absorption or something that does seem a little bit boring, but those are also the ones that really greatly affect your gameplay usually.
Yeah.
I prefer the ones that are proc based, just because that changes your rotation. You know what I mean? So, like for example, right now, prop paladins on the 4-piece currently in live, all of a sudden now you have Avenger Shield spam. A lot of people say that that's OP, which it is, but it changes the way that you play your paladin. You can't have a set rotation because when this thing procs, most of the time you're going to want to press that button. And if you had like a set rotation or some kind of crazy macro that puts everything together for you, you're not really maximizing what you can do. Yeah. And to me, that is kind of like taking somebody who's good and pushing them a little bit further because they have to be able to adjust based on procs. Where this doesn't give you that kind of gameplay. This is more, for the most part, more percentage-based output changes, which we don't really know until we actually play them how they're going to play. And I know, Draven, you've had a chance to play a couple of them. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I wouldn't judge anything based on this yet, other than say they seem a little boring.
Yeah. Well, it's also first tier, and first tier tend to be boring.
That's true.
Yeah. And we got a question in chat. I did tell him we would talk about it real quick. Scarlett, do you want to read it for me?
Sure. So the question is,
Part one.
It's a two-part question.
Yeah.
Part one: What are your thoughts on the top two engineers at Blizzard talking badly about console gaming when they have people spend a lot of money on D3 on next gen?
I know nothing of this.
That's what I was going to say. I have not heard of anything.
If you have any information on that, feel free to, let us know. But I have not heard them say anything bad about anything.
So the one thing I'll say on that is, of course, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, even if they're working for someone like Blizzard, and even if they don't try to, they're kind of speaking for Blizzard. It's kind of hard to fault them for their opinion. However, there are many ways where PC gaming is superior to console, and there are many ways where console gaming is superior to PC. And to be perfectly honest, there's lots of games that play a hell of a lot better on a console than they could on a PC, and vice versa. So, to me, I got to see the context, because without the context, it's hard to really kind of form an opinion on it. I will say this. Games like Madden, I would have a super hard time playing that on a computer, but playing it on a console is smooth as butter. I would not want to play WoW on a console.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, God.
I think it depends on the game, but I would love to see the context.
Yeah. And then I see part 2. Basically, I'm going to paraphrase it. One of the highest paid StarCraft 2 players is from Finland. 2 of the engineers from Blizzard are in Finland. Is it a coincidence or fixed?
Coincidence.
It's a coincidence. They're not going to fix their own stuff, because if they get found out, guess what? Here's some jail time. And for $150,000, not quite worth it.
Plus, the top players have been from other countries from other years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
it
thought
used
they
to
were
be a lot of
usually,
Asian,
for
Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool, actually, that they're not Asian, because it means the game's growing more worldwide audience, player base. I mean, anytime the games are expanding, that's pretty awesome. I really doubt there'd be any kind of collusion as far as professional gaming levels. That would be a pretty big deal if that was the case.
One of my favorite casters for Hearthstone is also a very big StarCraft caster, and he actually lives in Korea, South Korea, if I remember correctly, even though he's American. Artosis.
Ah, okay.
I follow him on Twitter, and he's huge into the StarCraft scene, and yeah, I don't think there's any relation to that, other than the fact that they, it's like some of the top raiders are American, and oh look, the game is American. Is there a coincidence? Yeehaw!
Yeah. Well,
You can probably find relatively wherever, but it doesn't mean it always makes sense, and
And the other thing is Blizzard has campuses and offices in multiple locations across the world. I think literally they're over 10 different countries at least, so it's hard to draw conclusions like that based upon that kind of information.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. We encourage intelligent questions and such. I'm not seeing a base for at least that second question, and that just seems weird to me, but nonetheless, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that about does it for WoW, at least. So,
we got one more WoW thing.
do we?
Yes.
Oh, the specs?
No.
Did we
The
skip
story
over
of Nat Pagle.
I don't know if I want to let you do this, because I asked you to let me at least see part of it ahead of time.
Nope. I
All right.
told you it's gonna be fine.
Okay. Just in case, guys, if she happens to get muted or whatever, you'll know why. So, the story of Dirty Nat Pagle.
Dirty Nat Pagle. By the way, I will explain the origins after. So, this is the story about how Nat Pagle earned his dirty title. One summer day, Nat went exploring down by the river. Now, in his words, he had been drinking heavily. And his favorite beverages are usually of the alcoholic kind. So he wandered down to the river, and all of a sudden he reached in and he took out his long, long measuring tape from his tackle box. Now, this long, long measuring tape had a power. It can summon Gazrenka. Gazrenka is a hydra. A dirty, slimy, muddy hydra. So, Nat used his long, long measuring tape and summoned out Gazrenka, who ended up aiming at Nat Pagle his massive geyser, which proceeded to knock Nat into a puddle of mud. Nat proceeded to wrestle and kill Gazrenka, but not without covering himself entirely with mud and dirty water. He then dragged the body of Gazrenka over to the village of Zul'Grub, and from then on, Nat Pagle was called Dirty Nat Pagle. Also, by the way, that is all on WoW Wiki. That is a true story, for the most part. It's also a quest chain of a couple times.
So, why would a fisherman have a measuring tape?
Don't ask me. It's in the quest. You go get the measuring tape, and then you take it into Zul'Grub, and it summons Gazrenka, who has a skill which is called a massive geyser and stuff.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Totally true.
And tune in next time with Wasting Time with Scarlett's WoW Wiki.
So that's how Nat Pagle got his dirty title.
Okay.
I think the village of Zul'Grub just started calling him, that dirty Nat Pagle.
Yeah. You did warn me ahead of time that it was definitely not safe for work. So I was kind of leaning back, making sure I had my eye on the mute button, but
I told you it was fine.
yeah, it's fine.
I guess he could measure his fish. I just don't understand,
That's something fishermen do. I don't understand.
Should have been a long
He
fishing
doesn't
rod.
really. He doesn't. So truth. Here's a true fact. He doesn't actually like fishing. He just likes drinking, and then while he's drinking, he just fishes. So
that's even more. Why does he have a measuring tape then?
Don't ask me. There's
for the illusion of being a fisherman.
Of his
long fisherman
measuring
doesn't
tape.
have. I mean,
I know some people
I
that
don't
go
know.
fishing
I'm not
with
a
measuring
fisherman.
tape.
Do they? I mean, okay.
They measure the fish because it's like that's the biggest. It was this
It
big.
was 6 inches long. No, it was 6 feet long.
I guess in Florida that's built into the boats and on the docks. You don't really have measuring tape, but I mean that could just be a.
Yeah, well, there's places like up here when you can go fishing that you don't have docks or boats. You sit on the beach at the side of the river or the lake or whatever.
You don't have no beaches where you live. Who you kidding?
Not very good ones. Anyway, thus concludes Warcraft Talk.
I dedicate that story to the real Nat Pagle. Have fun with that.
Yeah. So, I think we need to go ahead and hit up card game Hearthstone. I said it right for you tonight. So, Hearthstone. Theory, I know you played the Tavern Brawl this week. I know what you thought of the Tavern Brawl this week.
Tell us again what you thought of it.
Yes. Well,
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down? Yeah.
Thumbs down.
It's fun.
You think they're all fun. You've hated one of them.
So my response to that is enjoy life more in all its diversity and different card game modes. Or something.
My name is Scarlet. I am trying to make some deep philosophical comment or something.
Or something. Whatever. It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. Decks assemble. We've had it before. You pick cards. You basically can summon them over and over and over, as long as you have the mana for it. I remember liking it kind of the first time. Not this time. I played it twice. I lost the first one, won the second. I was like, okay, done.
So I have a question for you.
37.
Switched it up this time. Okay, so
Clerks.
you know how when you are playing ranked play,
Sure.
it automatically puts you with somebody who's a similar rank?
Mm-hmm.
Matchmaking.
Okay.
In Tavern Brawl, is there matchmaking?
No.
Not that kind. I mean, you match up with somebody, but you kind of anyone who clicks Tavern Brawl.
So
It's
there's
not
really
you've won this many, so you're going to go against somebody with this many. No, it's not like that.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, there's no. It's kind of like the StarCraft beta when I got into it. It was my first match against the level 40.
So
Which was
pretty much
max.
anyone who
Queues up
not
Tavern
have
Brawl.
a lot of cards on one where they make a deck, which is not this one, but on one where they make a deck, is at a disadvantage.
If you have to make the deck yourself, I would say you're at a
little
disadvantage. Are you making like a standard deck comment in that theory?
Kind of. So, like, for
Because-
example, this one, it gives you the deck, and you kind of build your deck as you go, which is the whole point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really apply to this one, but a couple of weeks ago, there was one where you had to make your own decks. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, if this is not somehow matchmaking involved, then you really are at a disservice, because the person that you're going up against could have all of the really good cards from the newer decks that you probably don't have.
Yeah.
So it seems like there might be a little bit of room for improvement with Tavern Balls, if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, most of the really good cards, like Dr. Boom, won't be in standard when we get it. It's just gone.
But that doesn't apply to Tavern Brawl.
It's going to with the new release.
I think it does, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, oh,
Yeah, it will. It's going to
She's
apply to all modes, as far as I remember.
yeah.
Well, I
She-
bow
she-
down to your Hearthstone knowledge,
Yeah,
Scarlett,
she's-
but
she's
I
the
thought
expert.
it was just for ranked play.
That's what I was thinking for a minute, too. I don't know.
Oh, I could be wrong. I'm often wrong, but I think I remember it was for whatever mode that you're playing in.
Interesting. Okay.
So who knows? Yeah, anytime you have a deck that you have to build, if you don't have cards, you're obviously at a disadvantage. It's still possible to win with the starter set you get at the beginning. Not very likely, but it's possible.
So this Tavern Brawl, I got a Ragnaros.
Mhm.
And I played him. And the person couldn't do anything about him the next turn. So then my turn comes back again. And the 3 cards pop up. And I can choose one. And one is Faceless Manipulator. And he's the guy that copies any card. So I copied my Rag. And then I had 2 Ragnaros. Now, Ragnaros went and hit my dude's face, my opponent's face, and left his minions up. And he had some high attack minions. So I calculated he had exactly lethal if he went and hit me. Instead, he went and killed his minions into my Ragnaros. And then The next time I redraw my hand, I got my one Ragnaros back, so then I killed him. So he could have won that if he had calculated and counted his damage. But
Sucks to be that guy.
exactly. That was my win for the week. I've only played like maybe 3 or 4, but I did learn something interesting. You know the warrior card, Iron Juggernaut, where it puts a card in somebody's deck? Well, because you never actually draw a card, that just goes into their hand and they can discard it for 0 and it does 0 damage to them. So that was a waste of a card to pick. So don't pick that if you're in Tavern Brawl on a warrior.
Yeah.
Because I did that mistake.
Yeah. What rank are you at now, Scarlet? For rank play?
18? I hardly ever touch rank. I don't really touch ranked play.
Yeah.
I just do Tavern Brawls mostly.
I usually get up to like 13, 14. At some point in this year, I'm going to make a legendary push. But for now, I just haven't had time this week. That's it for Hearthstone. So I'm going to let you guys take a couple minute nap. And I'm going to talk... Yeah, and I'm going to talk about heroes for just a minute. So I'll try not to make it my weekly. I love that bumper theory.
Too late.
Dang it. Anyway.
Heroes of the Storm.
And we're just going to go right into it. Free this week, ETC, Johanna, Kael'thas, Lily, Sergeant Hammer, The Butcher, Arthas if you're level 5, Brightwing at 7, Zeratul at 12, and holy crap, the Lost Vikings if you're 15.
Why is that holy crap?
Because they are the least free-to-play character in the game. They're also one of the hardest to play well, which is probably why they're not often free-to-play. On sale, Nazebo. Harlequin Nazebo, which I did buy last year at some point when it was on sale. And Spectre Illidan. I love the evil clown look for Nazebo. I won't use any skin for Nazebo outside of that one. And then I'll join the guy who's scared of clowns and have that skin ready to go. I can be a troll too, guys. You guys know it, but yeah.
Can be a troll.
Anyway.
No, we don't make you get under the bridge. We like having our trolls right out in the open.
Yeah. I did manage to get a person to take my old Dalaran portal this week. Unfortunately, it was a character who didn't die because it was like Slowfall or something. But
was there someone in my raid team?
No, it wasn't in your raid team. It was fire department. I think it was one of the new guys.
So this week I was unsuccessful at my swap on the bridge, which for the 2 previous weeks I was successful at. So I'm 2 for 3 on making people kill themselves on the bridge. Are
you using a swap blaster?
Yes, it's amazing. So for those of you who don't know, on the bridge headed to Zol, is that how you say his name? Zol?
Zolvarok.
Yeah, the fire and purple void guy. HFC, it has the bridge that has the little pieces that are kind of cut out of it, which is pretty funny. So we have somebody on the fire department, CJ Pete, who likes to by himself commit suicide without any help on the holes of that bridge. So I got to thinking, you know, if I use the swap blaster right there and they're not paying attention, they're on auto run or they just keep running, they're going to kill themselves. So I started doing it, and literally 2 weeks in a row, got somebody. This week, Eli is who I targeted, and he stopped. Like miraculously, he was like running, and as soon as it happened, he just stopped perfectly and didn't go in. And I had it right on the damn edge too. It was perfect. And the technique is that I will stop there and wait for the person to pass me so they think that they're good. And then I'll swap. And yeah.
So he's just told
Didn't get
a
it
secret.
this week.
So Rod
Yes.
has started doing that in our raid.
Yeah.
I almost got Rod with it too.
Kill Rod.
Not this week.
Please
A
kill
couple
Rod.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Kill Rod!
He
I
tried.
also go ahead.
No, he tried to swap blast me off of Manroth, but I noticed. I thought it was a life grip, and then I was able to catch myself before falling.
See, that's harder because nobody's going to be running at the edge. I mean, you could put somebody right at the edge, but in there, unless they're just jumping around like crazy, like I like to do, they're probably not going to just jump off the platform. But if you can catch people on that bridge, they're already running.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it works way better, is they're already running straight. So if you swap perfectly, they'll keep running straight. And one step, they're in the hole and they're dead. So it's an amazing spot to try to use it in.
I know that raid for Banana Republic Scarlet and Ice team, the one, I won't mention any names of any druids who tried to kill me, but I was in Storm Shield, I was buying my extra rolls, that kind of thing. And I get a summon. I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Cancel. And I don't take them anyway. And I get another one. And another one. I was like, fine, I'll take it. Get on my flying mount, because I'm being summoned to outside the raid. And they had set it up just to the point where if you're not flying, you fall into the pool. And if you're not paying attention, you die within seconds.
They're druids, and they hover over. They fly, and they hover over the summoning portal right over the lake, and then they try to get you that way. They've gotten a few people.
Rod being one of them. He was
yeah.
not happy.
It was kind of funny.
That being said, I can't really give them too much crap about it, because I may have killed Rod on a Mythic Dungeon summon once.
They, the other druid in our raid, Temp, who likes to yell at us when we don't do stuff. No, Temp is cool. I like Temp. He has the druid glyph form for travel, so you can jump on top. But if you do it, he will try to kill you, including killing himself to kill you. So he will just randomly jump off Manroth portal or platform and jump in the Archmon fire. So I play a game where I jump on and then try to save myself, but still have him die, which has happened a couple of times. That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. Fun, fun, fun.
And we're back to WoW.
Yeah, we're keeping up with tradition, as always.
It was Theory this time, it wasn't me.
Well, he got on the note of trolling and trying to kill your raid members, so I had to.
That's true. It was actually Draven
Yeah.
because he said the portal.
Yeah.
And that started it.
Whatever. I didn't see any questions outside of the one we got in chat tonight, so send your feedback. We want to hear from you. Make it an intelligent question. We'll put it on the air that week. I will not spoil Deadpool. Stop asking.
Nobody asked.
The voices in my head told me to.
That's different.
Shush, no. Let's... What about some shout-outs? Let's do that. Theory brought up Overwatch, and other than its back, there's some progression. I mean, we did talk about it at the beginning. There's really
Well, we talked about it being back, but
yeah.
specifically they added some stuff to it
Yeah,
this time.
there's some skins. Some are really cool. Some are
Yeah.
kind of lame.
New way to get them, which is fairly random.
No, it's every time you level, you get a box.
Right, but what's in the box is random.
That would be Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
What's in the box? Anyway.
No, you get so what happens is you play games, and when you play enough games, you level up your character, your player level, kind of like in Heroes, only you're not leveling the character also. So your player level goes up. When you get a level, you get a box. There's a few things in there. There are skins, which make your character look different. There are what they're calling sprays, which is graffiti a wall. There are emotes, new vocal dialogue, hero poses. Like if you get play of the game, they can do something weird. There's a few of them that are freaking amazing, and I really want. Excuse me. Is you breathing there for a second? I really want some of these things, and they're on characters that I know I don't want to play. Theory, you in particular, I wanted to mention something to, and I didn't yet. You said you were really interested in Diva, except for all the pink.
Yes.
They took care of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're not all pink.
So I know that your graphics card isn't happy, but
I did jump in long enough to check them out.
Okay. So is the box you get specific to the character that you've been playing, or
Nope.
is it random?
Totally random.
Awesome. So my thought here is there's with a lot of these things that are purely cosmetic, there is a very popular game which we've talked about a lot that's non-Blizzard that I think they kind of took some of these ideas from, and that is Rocket League. Rocket League, every time you play, whether you win or not, you get a random cosmetic item. And, you know, it can be a paint job, it could be rims, it could be whatever. And it doesn't affect your gameplay at all whatsoever, but it's just something to kind of give you some progression even when you didn't win.
I'm going to jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was more Team Fortress 2 they stole the idea, well, borrowed the idea.
Well, that's probably part of it too,
Yeah.
but
do
the
they have
success
skins
of Rocket
and stuff?
League is based on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But the thing I'm hearing, and I've heard it from many different people, the longer you play, like the more levels you get, the more games it takes to level up, thus getting another box.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but at the same time, once you're so far, let's say you want the legendary Diva skin, which is going to cost you 1,000 credits if you don't open it. The only way to get credits is by opening boxes to get stuff that you already have. So let's say you got 5 different emotes or skins of random colors or whatever. Okay, well, once you level up to a certain point, it's taking you 15, 20, 25 games, which is short, so it doesn't really matter, but there comes a point where it's like, the longer you play the game, the less likely you are to get the thing you want.
But I thought you could trade some of them.
You can, if I'm understanding it correctly, you can take the stuff you don't want and basically Hearthstone dust it.
I thought you could trade it for credits and whatnot, kind of like the Steam badges.
Yeah, that's what that is. Basically,
okay.
You're getting rid of it for credits. They're just using credits instead of dust.
Gotcha.
I think that's a thing. I was listening to someone else, and they didn't think you could do that yet, but they're thinking they probably will do it. So I'm sure that it's going to be the progression system, while new to us, will eventually be different when it goes live. I'm really hoping, because there was a couple skins and emotes and play of the game, and I won, so I get this cool pose kind of thing. There was a few of them that were amazing. Diva, I think, actually had the best one out of all of them. The play of the game pose. It's just literally her laying down on her back on her mech, blowing bubblegum, and she just kind of looks up and does peace sign right next to her head.
That's cute.
It's amazing. But
That's the kind of thing that I think will make people continue to play the game. Because if you remember when they had the first beta launch for like a week, it was one of the top things on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of just stalled and was one of the bottom things on Twitch. And that kind of progression where there is cool stuff that you can get that really doesn't affect gameplay is a way to keep people playing it. Even if it is a situation where after you've been playing it a while, it takes a while to do it. Yeah. They'll introduce other ways to get those credits.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a, here's, give us $10, you can have 5 boxes. Or 2 boxes or something like that. I
think it'll be more like buying credits.
Yeah, you're going to
buy the boxes, you'll just buy the credits.
Yeah, but it's more, do I really want it? No.
Well, as long as you're not buying items that help you play the game better.
Yeah, because
it doesn't matter.
There were a couple maybe not emotes in particular, but there was a couple things in there I was like, I would spend money on that. That Diva one in particular, which is the best one out of all of those. I think it was the hero play of the game or player of the game. I think is what it
and
was.
They said that you were not going to have to pay for characters or maps. They didn't say anything about cosmetics.
Oh yeah, I'm fully expecting this really cool thing. But again, I'm going to go back to Heroes. I know you guys don't care about it. I put a ton of money into Heroes, and I don't even want to think about it. Hearthstone, $3 back in beta.
I've put quite a bit of money into WoW and Hearthstone. If you think about it. Character changes and
I've done that stuff too. I'm not counting the WoW stuff. That's completely separate. That's like, okay, well, that's $15 a month if I decide not to buy tokens.
Yeah, but not even the sub. I mean, just other stuff other than the sub cost.
Yeah, I've moved characters, that kind of thing. Theory, I know you have me beat there.
I would be in trouble if I added it up.
Yeah.
But let's not go there.
Yeah. It just I know
I've spent
how
money the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Moving and boosting.
Yeah. I just know how I am. I'm going to either go all must have everything, or do I really want to buy this? There might be something cooler coming. And then I'm going to hate myself when nothing cooler comes for a while. I'm like, I really want that one thing. But do I really want to spend money on it because this other cool thing might come?
Buy all the things. That's my theory. Suggestion. Saying.
I was going to say, I'm not your theory. I mean, come on. That should be your theory.
I'm not your theory, bro.
No, I said buy all the things. You're not a thing, and I'm not buying you.
I'm not your monkey.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. Have you guys looked at any of these skins or anything? I know I linked a couple to you guys earlier, but have you seen any outside of the ones I showed you?
Yes.
Scarlet? No.
No, I forgot.
You're not really into the Overwatch thing, are you?
No, I am, but
just busy.
Diablo kind of sidetracked me forever this week. I went from no Paragon levels to 360 Paragon levels. So Diablo.
I'm at 102.
And then I also leveled a monk to 70.
So the Winston, I forget what they call it, jungle.
Safari?
Oh man, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
What is it? Because now I want to Google it.
It's Safari. I don't know what's it actually called, Raven.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but it's in our group. I thought.
Yeah,
but it's literally Winston the Big Ape in a safari outfit. He's got a mustache and everything.
Oh my god, that's so cute!
And he still has his monocle in too. It's
and he's got the glasses. Okay, that is adorable.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
There's several of them that are just amazing. Um, I'm trying to remember. I know you hate the one Reaper one.
Yep.
But-
I am
just
not
found
kidding.
Reddit.
Yeah, I am not kidding. If I know I will have access to it because of the version of the game I'm buying, if I can disenchant it or whatever they're going to call it for credits, I will.
Mariachi Reaper?
And the other
And
ones
you
I
hate
think
that?
are in.
Why would you hate that? That's awesome.
No, not Mariachi Reaper. The
Oh.
maskless one.
Oh, let me see.
It was they announced it at BlizzCon for Origins. It's one of those skins. If I can get rid of it, I will. I will never use it. And if I ever see someone using it, they are my target.
Wow.
End of story. I don't care.
That's a lot of salt.
Are they anywhere near the map objective? No? Good. They're going to die.
The Black Watch Reyes?
Yes. I have nothing against the skin. I have everything against the fact that it is an official Reaper skin. Like they are saying, this is who this guy is. I did not want that. I wanted Reaper to be the man of mystery. There is no knowledge of who he is. When they did the Soldier 76 intro, they kind of hinted that Reaper was this guy. And I was fine with that. I was annoyed at it, but I was fine with it. But to have it 100% officially said, that's who he is, that's what's getting me. So I will not use that skin, and I will hunt down anyone who does. In-game, not in real life.
Sure.
Is it sad that you have to make that distinction nowadays?
It is a little sad. You know what's funny about that? Like, I know this is off topic, but it's kind of relevant to this week. There was a note about, I want to say it was Twitter, banning a whole bunch of accounts because they had said something about terrorism or something terrorism related. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. And then I started to think, I was like, damn, how many times have I talked about boss kills or killing a certain boss or our team downing something WoW related on Twitter? I'm like, I'm gonna get my Twitter account's gonna get banned because somebody doesn't know this is about a game. But anyway, didn't happen. But I figured my Twitter account would be gone just because of talking about WoW.
All right. So we'll dive into a little more Overwatch. Give Scarlet a little more time to go over some of the skins and stuff.
Oh, I found a site that has all of them. masteroverwatch.com/skins.
Yeah.
Some of the McCree ones are hysterical. Gambler McCree.
Yeah. I will, since you plugged that site, I'm going to plug Overking, which is basically Wowhead for Overwatch. That'll be the site I use more often than not for stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. So like I said, I'll give Scarlett some time. So when she comes back next week, we'll do a whole section on Overwatch skins, what we like, what we don't. Because I honestly don't remember a whole lot of them off the top of my head. So that'll help me refresh too. So let's do some shout outs, and then Theory, you can do your contact info thing.
Sounds good.
So Scarlett, have you any shout outs?
Yes. I want to shout out to Straya Obscura for making this awesome Alex Traza. That's where I should put it. Just there. I also want to shout out to the bananas because bananas are awesome. And yeah, that's about it for this week. Just my raid team and my peeps.
Mm-hmm. And Theory, how about you? Any shout outs?
Yes, I got a couple. I have a shout out for Cuddles. Spent some time in the stream this week.
For throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, it was funny. I got the humor in it. It was good. I have a shout out for the raid team Face Pull. who pulled Cuddles into a group last night and finally got him a kill. So he has a moose mount. Yay, Cuddles. Yay, Facepole.
Yay!
That was Facepole? Because I thought it was just Wipe It.
Oh, damn. You know what? I think you're right. It was just Wipe It. I don't remember which Facepole it was now. I'm confused. My bad. So, yeah.
Fail of the week!
Just Wipe It. Yeah, there you go. But, hey, it's still CTR. So, good job, everybody. And I bet you there's probably some people that are on both of those same two raid teams. But anyway. In addition to that, Ursangus, dude, let's do this. I want to do the challenge, figure it out. I don't care what the rule is, what the rules are. We should do it. It's fun. It should happen. I happen to know...
Don't say you don't care what the rules are, because he will make a rule Ursangus wins.
As long as there's meters... As long as there's meters and logs, I don't care if he thinks he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do know a couple of really good DK tanks as well to bring in on this. Scarlet. Draven's got one too. Heel's got one too. So, something there. I know that we already have 2 bears and a monk. Right, because Mudala, Ursangus, and then we've got Cuddles. So we need a warrior.
Rod.
Rod is a very good tank, as a matter of fact. He tanked one of the bosses for us this week, and he was in the 90s on rankings for both damage and for avoidance. So yeah, he's a very good tank and a good competitor for this as well. So that would be cool. So shout out to Rod too.
That all for it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, it's my turn. I've been doing it all show. I've been randomly making Deadpool compliments and stuff like that. I'm going to give my shout outs. They'll never hear about it. Fox for making Deadpool rated R. Ryan Reynolds for spot on job. And just everyone involved with the Deadpool movie. You get my shout-outs, because that was freaking amazing. I'm going to watch it again. I can't wait.
He's Canadian, you know.
Yes, I know. So, yes. Deadpool gets my shout-out for the week, because that was just amazing. I wanted to watch it right again. The second time, right after the first. I had other crap I had to do, though, so... That'll be our shout out. So, Theory, are you ready?
I am ready, but I'm looking at this carbon fiber diva skin, and that is so sick. But okay, go ahead. I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. So, okay.
So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlet at Scarlet_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you.
That is getting to be an expensive habit of breaking that glass there. It's a cool effect, don't get me wrong, but it's getting to be kind of expensive on you, I think.
I got lots of glass.
Alright. So, we did shout-outs, we did how you contact us. I guess there's just one last thing to do. Thorn, quit dodging me, man. I want this I want this duel to happen. I'm tired of, people asking, when's it happening?
Oh, it's on.
I don't think he realizes that I was actually being serious when I said I would, to coin a Hearthstone phrase, dust him.
You will have to let it be known.
Yes. If we can figure it out.
Stock.
I now have a level capped forward character. We just gotta, get the right gear matchups. That's it.
So, Is he red?
He mostly plays red also.
Okay.
So, I mean, if
Ret
we get
challenge.
yeah, it's a ret challenge. So we got tanks, we got ret. I'm not going to join the mage one because I know I'm not as good as I could be. We should just randomly set aside some time for every class and such.
Death Knight hype.
They're in the tank one. I don't. No one cares about their DPS.
Yes, we do.
They're getting
Slim
nerfed.
might disagree with you a little bit.
And I would agree with that. Slim would also disagree.
They're getting nerfed. It doesn't matter.
Well, according to Slim, they get nerfed every week.
Yeah, well, we do. Yeah. Gonna just leave that one there just in case. Do we have any last words for our show? No? I honestly thought Scarlett was going to go with Dirty Nat Pagle.
Kitty!
Super.
Long measuring tape.
Dirty Nat Pagle.
Hello, Mother. You know, the world could always use more heroes.